Happy Dragon coming on.
We are now recording the October 25th, 2019 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Oh, Matthew just disappeared.
Yeah, I think he had reception problems. I was hoping he'd stick around.
Well, he's on his way to his office, so he will be there shortly. He's not that far from his office, so we'll see him in like 10 minutes, I think. So,
Linda, how are the fires out there? You are anywhere near any of that?
No, the closest one's probably 25 miles away, and I'm in the middle of a city, a real urban area, and so unless somehow the whole city were to burn down, which would be almost impossible, it can't get to me. These are people who live on the edges of cities. You know, as the cities expand, they kind of move out to where the wilderness is in California, headed up the mountain a little bit, and then somebody will drop a match or something at the bottom of a gully, and then it goes zooming up the canyon, and then it spreads out it goes up the hills to the ridge lines, and that's where all the houses are. And there's probably 4 or 5 of them burning now. Some friends of mine have been evacuated. One of the things people do here is they go stay with friends, or they do go to the shelter. And other people come with trailers and that to evacuate horses and pigs. And there's some place up near one of the fires in Santa Clarita called the Gentle Barn. So a lot of people took trailers up there to evacuate the animals, the big animals, the horses, and that kind of stuff. So
wow, sounds like a major.
Everybody kind of works together. It's a little bit like when you get a bad storm back east, like a snowstorm or something.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of, this neighbor has this and that neighbor has that, and you all work together. And it's probably one of the few times when Californians work together as wildfires and earthquakes.
Wow.
So
it's a shame it takes a tragedy for that to happen.
Yeah.
So one of the things I learned about this week was Woodard, Joe Woodard, is rebranding to Woodard Alliance. And I think I mentioned something last week. I was surprised that Joe was not all into it. So this kind of explains a lot to me. So he's doing more of the consultant type. He's moving more towards, and that brings me up to what I want to talk about too. But Joe is now not so much drinking the Intuit Kool-Aid as much as he is talking about how to support small business clients with not only just the bookkeeping and the financials, but being a well-rounded, talking about, CRMs, that type of thing.
Yep.
So Linda, you knew this. You knew this?
I did, because he did the kickoff of this rebranding at Scaling New Heights 2019, which was in the middle of June. And I actually had signed up for the previous program that he had the year before at Scaling New Heights. And then this year I signed up, and this year he rolled into the package the support you're getting from him, ongoing support, plus he included the tuition for the Scaling New Heights Online, which is coming up in November, a Tuesday and Wednesday in November. And then he also includes the tuition to the Scaling New Heights, which will be in St. Louis in the middle of June 2020.
So he's still calling his events Scaling New Heights.
That's what he calls his big conference. He has a Scaling New Heights Online, and I can tell you, believe it's November 18th and 19th.
That's the one that Linda and Matthew are going to be presenting in? I believe. Yes? I think that they are.
They may be presenting at Scaling New Heights, but I know they're presenting at QuickBooks Connect,
Mhm.
both of them. So they very well may be, but I don't know. I don't know how far ahead Joe's gotten in. Oh, you're saying they may be presenting that Tuesday and Wednesday in November for Scaling New
Yes.
Heights Online.
Yes.
I don't know. I haven't heard them mention it, so they could very well be. They have not announced, they haven't even taken registration for it yet. I just know I pay $95 a month, every month around the clock, every month around the year calendar. And that includes my Scaling New Heights registration, and it includes my Scaling New Heights Online registration, as well as the ongoing resources that are available to us every month. So,
I just watched a webinar from him. That was how I had learned, and it was very interesting, and it was more geared toward helping the pro advisors.
yes.
And so if he's going to help them move in that direction, his business needs to be heading in that direction also.
Absolutely. And I think that what I was trying to remember, I was on a webinar the other day, and I think it's called Moving Up. Is that the one you saw? Moving Up?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. I believe it was Wednesday.
You believe it was what?
Wednesday when that webinar was on.
Yes, it was. It was Wednesday morning. Yes, and I think it's called Moving Up. Now, did he send you a copy of the recording? Probably not, because
No, he did. Actually, he did.
So that went to everybody, whether they're a member of his group or not.
This was a free recording. I think he wanted to put out there exactly the direction he's headed in and that kind of thing. So, yes, I did get a copy of the.
Good. Yes. There's some things that, yes, it was Handout Moving Up webinar, supporting emerging and mid-market businesses. He's talking about supporting businesses where their annual revenue would be between, say, 3, 4, 5 million and maybe 20, 25 million. And even above that, because one of the things he covered, and you will remember this from the Wednesday webinar, is Gravity software, which can handle above QuickBooks Enterprise Solutions. So yes, he's definitely, and the Gravity software is built on the Microsoft platform and supported by Microsoft. And that's part of why I decided I really need to implement what I'm paying for. I've been paying for this since Scaling New Heights in June, but I haven't actually, I have to migrate the data I have from where it is into the Office 365 online, the internet thing. I have some of it in regular Microsoft Office. I have some of it in 365, and I really don't know how to connect everything. So that's what I want to do.
You are looking for training or classes to be able to do that. It's really a shame Ernest or Matthew or Sarah or they're all big Microsoft people that may be able to give you good direction.
Yes. So.
Well, it's my understanding that Windows 7 support is going to end the end of this year.
January, yeah, it's going in January.
I'm seriously thinking I don't want to get rid of my Windows 7 machine. I am not upgrading it. I don't want to get rid of it. There's software that works on it that would not work on my Windows 10.
Oh.
But I don't think I need the internet to do all of that. I think I'm going to disconnect it from the internet. And
that might work, except if you're running any programs that need to talk to the internet. You can't run QuickBooks on it then.
But that'll eliminate all of the security risks.
Oh, it will. Absolutely, it will. Yeah.
I had a client, and I'm going to say this goes back, oh my gosh, back to the beginning when people started getting on the internet and he used QuickBooks Desktop. But he would not put he specifically turned the link off to the internet. He was like a real security freak and did not want his information to get stolen or out there. And I used to really think, wow, he's really very overcautious. But here I am going back to his idea.
Yeah, it works.
You can't get a virus if you're not on the internet. So I suppose it depends on what you're using. You know, I'll have my Windows 10 machine and I'll do whatever I need to on the cloud and on the internet and have my security and all of that. But I'm not ready to give up my Windows 7 machine yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to decide by then too. I actually, this particular computer, you remember when they first came out with Windows 10 and you could download it? And I think I downloaded it, installed it, and then I think I went back to Windows.
Right.
And so now I have a registered version of Windows 10, so I could like reinstall it if I wanted to without, I don't know. I don't know whether I want to try that or not. Some of it would depend, and that's one reason why during November and December I want to look at implementing the Office 365 and everything. So.
Isn't Windows 10 a free upgrade?
I think it was for a while, and then they stopped, and now you have to pay for it.
I think so, yeah. If you had, there's something about if you registered it before, then you still have access to it. I really don't know. I'd have to find out. Aren't you on a Mac, Tiffany? No? Sorry.
No Mac for you.
No.
I saw the look on your, oh no, she's not.
No, I have all the other Apple products and stuff, but not my laptops or computers.
Okay, so what Windows are you running on your different computers?
My main one is 7 and the other ones are all 10s.
That's true for me too. My main
So
one
what
is
are you
7.
going to do with your 7 machine?
I'll upgrade it to 10.
You'll upgrade it. You're going to go that.
Yeah, it's a
I
custom
think
build.
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's a custom
my
build.
7 is not home. Mine isn't Windows 7 home. It's
No, it's
Windows
professional.
7 professional.
Yeah, mine too.
And mine is 2. Mine is 2. But I think well, the other thing is the computer that I have that my Windows 10 was upgraded from, I don't know, it was like 8.1. So
Right.
It was that nasty year. Like, remember when they came out with the Windows 2000, how no matter what machine, no matter where, when, it was a lousy machine. Well, 8.1 is the same way.
Yeah, it was the first thing above 7.
Right. And there isn't much you can do to improve it.
Right.
So I may just bite the bullet and buy a new Windows 10 and then have my 7 if I need it for whatever, because you never know what's coming up and what's coming down the road. You know, there are old QuickBooks programs on there and you know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at how many people don't have multiple versions of QuickBooks on their computers.
I do.
I have, what?
I do.
How many
I do
you
too.
have?
I have lots.
I do too. I think I have 12, 14. Now, the one I never installed on any computer was QuickBooks 2013. That was the one I never installed it anywhere. I went from 12 to 14 and all of my clients went from 12 to 14 because for like 6-9 months, you could only have that. Everything was like black background.
Oh, that's when they did that big change.
And some people, some CPAs claimed that when they're doing bookkeeping all day long, looking at that black background, they've got epileptic fits and oh, it was like not good. I remember that. It's funny what you remember. So I don't think I would have gotten it.
I have 13 to 19 that I can see on here, and I'm pretty sure I've got 2004 somewhere. I had a client that had that.
I was just looking in my closet, and I have 2007, 2008, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, and then it was all online. So you have them online to download them. But I downloaded them and installed them. And I pretty much leave them. Sometimes I take the shortcut off. So, but it's still there on the computer. So I can.
I had them before they used to call them the years.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So if they're on your machine, you're going to lose them if you upgrade.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it overrides your hard drive. It's just the operating. I don't know.
No, I don't think it does either. I think if she upgrades, she'll have all the programs that are on her computer.
Okay.
I don't think it's like,
I
you know how
thought
you
broke
used
them.
to have to wipe everything and then restart. I don't think
I
you can
don't.
do that between 7
Yeah.
and 10.
I don't either, because
I could
when
be
we
wrong.
first installed it, when I installed it in July of 2015, when it first came out, it didn't erase any of my programs. And
No.
so then when I went back, it didn't erase them either. So,
Have you actually gone into the program and tried to open them now?
oh yeah,
Okay.
I've used them. It's my main computer.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, well, I remembered that I had to do that in order to get the free copy. And so that's why I did it when I did it.
Got it.
Anyway, I'll probably do it sometime over Christmas. So if I run into a problem, I'll have some time to fix the mess.
Buy another computer?
Yes, buy another computer if I have to. I may. This one's pretty old, this computer. It's got to be 5 years old. And I wonder, I should go look and see how many. I'll bet it only has 8 gigabytes of, no, it has to have 12 gigabytes of memory because it wouldn't be running 2019. Huh.
Well,
That's the one thing I tell everybody now. If you're going to buy QuickBooks 2020, you need to have 12 gigabytes of RAM.
Right.
Because I got some clients now that need to upgrade.
That happened to me last year. All my clients that needed to upgrade, it happened at the 2019 level. So yeah, I have people that are skipping 19 so that they can upgrade their system over the holidays and then bring on 2021.
I have a number of people doing that as well. And I just said, all you got to do is tell that IT guy that you need 12 megabytes of RAM. You can get more if you want to, but you need to have 12. Don't go with 8. Sometimes they tell you 8 will be enough.
It's not.
Not for QuickBooks. So,
might run for a little bit, but you're going to get in trouble soon.
Yeah, here we go.
So, but one of the things I did this week was I visited our local school as a small business owner, and their new business academy that they're setting up, and they want to wipe the slate clean and start it all over, start brand new. And they want to teach kids that want to go in like an entrepreneurial pathway as opposed to going to college or going to their tech school, although there are bleed overs, they called, from the tech schools, like the plumbers and the woodworkers and that kind of thing will need help with financials, all of those guys that are running the small businesses, but they want to encompass everything. Like there's so many small businesses out there, so many people out there starting a small business, and they are just like winging it, and they want the kids to be able to go in and be able to do the things that they do. Of course, they're doing accounting. They've got the accounting classes, and they're still using QuickBooks Desktop. But we were talking about hardware. Their problem, they told me, was they had a plug problem. They don't have enough plugs to plug in all of the computers and the monitors.
That's right. A lot of people have that problem at their home too.
And in addition, they are all networked. They have an internal server and workstations. And I brought up the cloud and other things beside financials that business owners need to do. They need to do project management, tasks. They need to, go ahead, Tiffany.
I was going to say communication skills.
Communication skills. Well, I used like a Toastmaster class as an example for that. That was one of the things that I said.
Yes.
You know, they have Toastmasters, and I think every kid that's in, you know, 11th and 12th grade should go through some, because if they're a small business person, they're going to have to explain what they do. They've got to get comfortable talking to people.
They do.
Some
One-on-one
people-
and in small groups.
Right. Some people it comes naturally. I can open my mouth at any occasion. Some people are not as happy doing that, you know, they just like freeze up like a deer in headlights. Team management was another one. Payroll and working with employees, they have to know all of those rules and regulations.
Yeah, all your legal obligations as a business.
Legal obligations, and
How to network.
how to network. Well, that was a thing too, you know, because in the school environment, the kids are blocked from using Facebook. Maybe they should think about allowing a class to use Facebook for the, you know, ads and promoting their business and the pages and that kind of thing.
Do the kids back there in Pennsylvania use Facebook? Because out here they don't.
Well, it's not that much Facebook, but Instagram, or they're
Right.
you know, encompassing all of them. But even Instagram, you know, a lot of people get their business from there.
That's
So,
true. They do.
you know, marketing, social media marketing was a thing. And how do you even, and the question came up, well, that's all great and wonderful. How do we create a class around that? How do we teach around that? And that's really difficult because it's such a changing environment out there right now. Everything is cloud-based. So I don't even know that they need their network and all of that expense. I said, did you ever think of a VPN?
Yeah.
A virtual private network? Well, we thought about it, but you know, of course, security is an issue. So yeah, I don't, you know, I'm tasked with helping them come up with courses that would help the entrepreneur or small business person.
Right.
So are there anything else that I missed?
I don't know, but the Toastmasters, to actually join a regular Toastmasters club, you need to be 18 years old.
I was using, yeah, that is an example of the type of place that they can look to find courses.
Right, but many Toastmaster clubs will go into a school and offer a program called Toastmasters Youth Leadership Program.
Oh, and that's right. Dennis's daughter did that.
Yes. And you would they would go into the classroom for once a week for 4 to 6 weeks. And they would do a mini class so that hopefully when there's also what they call a Gavel Club, which is it's like a junior Toastmasters club, a Gavel Club, and it's cheaper to be a member of. And the Gavel Club meets. And they use those now in prisons too. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, because they're really serious, I guess, finally, about trying to rehabilitate people so that they can get them out of prison and get them a job and working or be an entrepreneur or whatever. So Interesting, very interesting.
So how do you even go about suggesting apps? Because that was brought up too. There's like thousands of them, you know?
Whoever teaches the courses who would pick and choose what they would
The
teach.
apps, but even that, you know, one year it could be, you know, this year it's Trello, next year it's ClickUp. You know what I mean?
That's true.
They could
So
just
that
be teaching more critical thinking skills and how to assess apps as opposed to which particular ones, right?
Yeah.
Critical thinking. Yeah, wow, you're asking a lot from a teenager. But there are some that are really, really studious and would be able to do something like that.
Well, an awful lot of that is when they're little. If little kids have really good critical thinking skills.
Yes.
They're always trying to figure everything out. And the problem is most adults around them slap them down and say, no, you do what I told you to do. Don't think for yourself. Well, if you encourage them to think for yourselves and you like sit around the dinner table, maybe even if it's only once a week, and you talk about, okay, what about if we have a fire in our house tonight? We wake up in the middle of the night and there's smoke. What are we going to do? You get kids talking about that. They got ideas, and they got some good ideas too. And you make it a game and make it fun. And then when they wake up and there's smoke in the house in the middle of the night,
You got to plan.
it comes back right away. And they remember, oh, we decided not to do this and not to, oh, but we could do this or we could do that. Humans are very creative. Very creative.
Any
love
other suggestions that I could take back to them? I mean,
So this is the target market is, or the target is high school students who
High
do
school-
not who do not plan on getting a higher education.
who plan on going out and like have a soap making business, or, you know, they knit, you know, that kind of thing. Small solopreneurship.
But without an education.
Well, some of them will be going on to college. Some of them will be the plumbers and the woodworkers and.
But that's still educated though. Like those, I'm thinking they're actually promoting kids to just stop at high school.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, that's
No,
not the
and
case. They
there-
want it in addition to what they're offering. They want a more rounded student, because from what they're hearing, students are coming out and don't even know how to write a check.
Well, I
Right.
don't think they need to.
I agree with that. I wasn't going to get down
That's as
that
long as they
road.
can pay with their phone,
Yes.
Apple Pay. I would say two things, Gina. One is SCORE and SBDC. These are government programs that are run by the Small Business Administration. And so if anyone is interested in starting their own business, whatever it is, rather than just working for somebody, but obviously they can learn the skills and go to work for somebody, and then down the road, go out and do their own business. But
Well, that is part of what they were talking about, internship kind of thing. And they have us as business leaders coming in and doing things like mock interviews for
Yes.
a job and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of progressive things that they're doing, but they want the whole complete picture, and they're asking, what are they missing? What are we, and it's so hard because the whole environment is changing out there. Accounting is changing drastically. You know, accounting is accounting. I understand why you say that, Tiffany, but
I
as a
said nothing.
business owner and not an accountant, do they need to know debits and credits? With all
no,
the
they don't,
programs
but
that
they
are
need
out
to
there?
know plus and minus.
They need to know how to read financial statements. Yes.
Or
They
who
know
to
how
ask
manage
that
the
can show them.
cash.
Or what? Pardon me? Tiffany, say that again?
I said they need to know how to manage their cash,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and they need to know what their legal obligations are for having a business. You
Yes.
can't plead ignorance with the IRS or CRA.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So cash management, and that includes budgets that we had talked about earlier.
Yeah. Those are huge.
Oh, absolutely they are.
They are.
Absolutely. Without cash
Because
management and cash
I know
flow.
that I've had the discussion with my daughter, like she's in fourth year university now. And she's got, because, you know, I'm an accountant, we've always talked about this. We've always, you know, talked about investing. We've always invested with her. We've bought real estate with her, you know, so she's always been involved with being responsible for cash. But she's got friends who have no idea what it costs to budget for groceries, how much to spend on groceries, how to do their laundry. And they have to learn going into university or college.
Life skills, just plain old life skills.
Voting, how to vote, how to look at the platforms, how to figure out who to vote for, not just down party lines, but actually understanding what the platforms are
What you're saying
and
with
what's
that
important.
vote. Right.
Well, in every state, there's different ways to vote too. Like I always vote with my absentee ballot. So they mail it to me ahead of time. And I usually will be listening. I don't watch TV, but I listen to radio a lot and things like that. And I'll read the book. We have all these propositions. So I'll read them and I'll actually do a YouTube video explaining what they're saying to some extent. And it's kind of fun in a way. And I was been surprised at how many people will watch my YouTube videos just because, and they're funny too, because.
But even teaching that, right? Even teaching how to do that sort of thing where you're doing instructional videos and that sort of stuff. You could do that.
Sure.
And how do you put that into a class environment though? That's the question. How do you get that into a class environment? I mean, because.
Well, you could stand up there and talk about it. You could probably from the registrar of voters, that's what it is at the county office. You could get extra manuals and you could hand one out to everybody and you could say, I want you to write on it. And you go through that. Hi, Matthew. See, he did make it to the office.
Did make it. He's home. He's not at the office.
It's a little longer than 10 minutes.
That's home.
That's because I had to switch around because there was a fire in Ventura, so I wanted to get back towards my house to be. Should be
where
good.
The dogs are. Got it. That makes sense.
Well,
see, these things just break out, and you need to. That's good. So,
anyway, we're out of time, but I want to. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you, Tiffany? You were
just one of the things that they've recently done in Tiana's university is, so they talk about entrepreneurship. And one of the things that they did was they actually made them pick a business and create a website. And they had to do it for
website. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. That's another thing, website and marketing.
Yeah.
She actually had to build it in HTML. She wasn't allowed to use WordPress or anything, but.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let Matthew have the have the floor now and tell us about what's happening next week. Workman's comp compliance.
Yep. On so the 30th, Linda and I are doing a webinar on workers' compensation on the compliance aspect of it. It's actually gonna be pretty cool. So we're gonna be talking about who needs workers' comp, when you need workers' comp, kind of how it varies from state to state, what the codes are, everything else, all of the craziness that's behind the scenes that most people don't know about. So that's it's the primary thing we've got next week. Yeah.
Awesome. And we were just talking about that last week. So kind of perfect timing.
And Sarah oh, sorry. Stephanie was going to talk.
I was just saying, Matthew, you need to look over here. You're doing the same thing that we always talk about.
I'm on the screen.
There we go.
I was already working on that change. It just was. Good to see everybody.
Alrighty, we're going to end for today. Thank
Perfect.
you, everyone. See you all same time, same place.
Happy
next
weekend and happy
week.
Halloween.
Next week.
Happy Halloween. That's right. It is that
Got it.
time, isn't it? All righty.